Hey, random NACC here with probably the 100th Bisonte C45 video you're going to see premiere today. The opinions I've seen on this so far are all over the place, hence why I'm making the video. I want to give you as much data as I can and give you any recommendations so you can make an informed decision, or if you happen to get this, for instance through loot boxes or whatever, basically on how to set it up and have a good time with it. So stay tuned. All right, hey everybody. So I am a low-key NACC. You probably never heard of me. Usually don't make videos, and I'm just a low-key streamer. So the reason I decided to make this video, it really is because the opinions on this thing are way all over the place. So I kind of want to help anybody that gets this to figure it out and kind of reduce the growing pains. So the one thing that I've noticed is this thing needs about all the help it can get. It is in my opinion, it is a very good tank in a good player's hands. So it is going to be a struggle if you, are new to the game, or if you're not sure, if you don't have it set up properly, in my opinion. So the gun handling is not great. So my recommendation for the equipment is to help it out as much as possible. So if you happen to have bounty equipment, it's a great time to use it. I would basically triple up on gun handling. So you got vents, vert stabs, and the internal rotation mechanism all help gun handling. And once you apply all three of those, this tank actually can work fairly well. It's not perfect, but again, in a good player's hands, they can change the tide of the battle with this thing, in my opinion. So yeah, first things first, put some good equipment on it. It doesn't have to be a bounty equipment, but I would recommend this setup. Just give it all the help it can get with the gun handling. Second of all, crew. As much as possible, it's going to need a decent crew. Now, I know most people are not going to have an Italian heavy line set up, so I'm just going to let you know what I did. I had the Christmas crew from last year still unassigned. I had been thinking about putting them in the Italian line anyway, just because I already have a female crew member for the tier 10 Progetto, but I like the other ones, like the tier 8 and tier 9, so much I've thought about putting another one crew in. So with the Italian heavy, I just went ahead and did it. So I got Santa Claus, or Stuffing Claus, and 3 of the maidens. And then I used some crew books to bump their stats up quite a bit. So the skills I'd recommend, obviously, Brothers in Arms. The gun handling crew skills for the gunner and the driver. So Snapshot and Smooth Rod. I have also thrown on Deadeye onto the gunner. So when you can shoot in quick succession, being able to damage modules is pretty helpful. So if you can spare it, I would recommend it. And then repairs and all the other skills I would recommend. Just getting them as they come, basically. Now, one thing I did opt for here, I just want to call out real quickly, is I decided to go with camo over before firefighting. I think they're both worthwhile, but there actually has been one case where that worked out to my favor, and I have not been caught on fire yet out of 24 battles. So knock on wood, but I just want to let you know that is so far that's been working out for me. Really only one case, but all right. So let me show you the stats so far that I've had in this. So out of 24 battles, let's see. Oops. Out of 24 battles, averaging about 2,400 DP, damage per game. 550 assistant. 58% win rate. It's pretty decent. I mean, this is a small sample size, so 24 battles doesn't really mean much. But it's so far it's been handling about as I would expect a good tank to handle, and it's definitely holding its own. Average XP about 1200. So I think these are, I've been playing decent today, so these might be a little inflated. I think a good player is going to be able to do even better than that, way better than this. So just my opinion. Okay, so all right, here is the game where the chemo actually came into play. So we are 17 seconds in. I have loaded in one shot so far, and I can already tell you this team is in a lot of trouble. So if you look at the mini map, we have a whole bunch of people going to the valley. I already know that we're in trouble in the city. So we have got a low going to the road, and then I'm going city with only a VK and IS-2 too. But we're going up against, maybe a E75 platoon and a bunch of other tanks that I'm a little scared of to push into. This is my third game in this tank, by the way, so I'm not really confident enough to go push into the city against all that, especially with this amount of teammates going into the valley. So I decided to basically hang back, and yeah, so now I have already turned around and made the decision I'm just going to defend from here because there is no point pushing in. And so yeah, probably should have knocked down these trees to prepare. I'm just going to speed this up. So the low is trying to go across the road. Obviously that doesn't work out too well. These guys are trying to push into a Tortoise, a TS5, and a bunch of other tanks. An Emil, there's a whole lot of tanks here in the valley. Let me know when you ever seen a good valley push work against a setup like that. So, alright, so this is the point where I see these heavies. Correctly, I don't think they should have, and if they had, I probably would have gone to support them. But I'm kind of okay with the decision they made to not push in. I think this flank is easily defended from these positions back here, because there is a dip now, and so you can kind of go hold down, and you can use these trees and camouflage and vision to help defend it. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So the IS-2 is falling back. I'm completely fine with that. Bat chat on the road. So the problem is I've got bat chat close up on the road now. Two E75s approaching. They have an SCRV and an UDES sniping behind them. And we just have to deter them while they figure out what the heck to do in the valley. So basically, fall down, trying to keep my turret ponied multiple ways, trying to keep their heads down, and you see about 2k damage, 2k blocked, and 2k spotting. Oops. Wrong button. So yeah, eventually I pushed up. I didn't realize the standard B had come. He had left his position, come up the road. Misplay on my part. But yeah, so 3,000 damage total, 2k blocked, and 2.6 spotting. So that was the case where the camo actually came into play. I was able to hang back. I didn't want to play the whole thing, but was able to hang back and spot these guys. I was able to spot the SCRV, and I got myself led a bunch, but at the same time I was able to spot them before they could spot me. So alright, so here are the battle results of the Bisonte from today. So this is by damage. So this is the best game I had on Cliff. I think this is the only ace I had. 3.8k damage. I hate the map, by the way. I hate Cliff. But it had a decent game. But kind of consistently was able to have fairly decent games. 3K, 3K, 3K. Like all these games are over 3,000 damage. Still haven't hit 4K, so I would say it's coming. Like you're gonna be able to have some massive like 4K, 5K, maybe 6K damage games in this thing. Fairly regularly, I would suspect. So yeah, the 24 games is just a small sample size, but it's a good tank, and it can dish out damage incredibly well. I'm going to show you some things that it can do. We'll take a look at Cliff. All right, so here's the Cliff game. Speed it up. I'll try to call it any interesting parts here. Luckily, there's only one already. So I saw the patent was going up there, so I decided to come down. And so I want to highlight something real quick. The auto reloading thing, it's going to be best to shoot one at a time, unless, so you have to be very judicious when you dole out all 3 shells. If you want to kill a tank, or if you have like multiple one-shot tanks, that's a great way to use it. If you know you're not going to be shooting at anything else for quite a while, go ahead and do it. If you got a bunch of tanks in your face, shoot one at a time, and then use it judiciously until you can start taking out tanks, or until it can make a big difference to turn the tide. So I'll try to show or point that out when I do that, like how I use it, because it's kind of going to be like a case by case scenario. So here, when you see somebody make a huge mistake, yeah, definitely want to punish them. Go ahead and fire 2 there to get him out of the game. Then we'll fall back. Go ahead and get a reload in, and then I'm thinking about potentially clipping this T29 here. Just because the more guns we can eliminate here, the better. So tracking shot, use the second one, and he's dead. So already we have basically taken control of the cap, and now we can turn around and help this M103 who's in big trouble over here. Turn around and try to hit the Wally tank real quick. And I'm just using this elevated position because, basically because of that position where the T29 was just then. If a hull down tank gets over there, it can basically neutralize this M103 position so bad. So that's why I thought it was important to get elevation, so if he peeked up, I could take him out, because the M103 needs to concentrate on the tanks in front of him and not have to worry about the T29. So that's why I came up here, if you're wondering. Now I should be dropping down. Yeah, there. And it's nothing to worry about anymore, so and here I'm not going to shoot, I'm just going to ram, get that second shot in. And yeah, probably could have shot again there. And that's pretty much it. Last shot is already. So there we go. That was the Cliff game. I'm going to show you a few more things just so you get an understanding of how this tank can push around corners, how it can assault. I'm going to give you hopefully some examples of where you can use it like immediately. In my opinion, you can use this thing like an E75 TS. So it's very versatile. You can support heavies. You can, if you're top tier, you can be the main bully heavy. If you're bottom tier, You can go play with the mediums. You can support the super heavies, or this thing is extremely flexible. And with this setup and the gun handling, it can make a difference pretty much anywhere on the map. So I kind of like it. But again, it needs the right setup. It needs a good crew. And, you know, a player that's got a little bit of experience, I think, to make it worthwhile. But let me show you a few more examples. Alright, so we can take a look at this Himmelsdorf battle. This was a decent game. Unfortunately, it was a complete blowout, but let me see if we can figure out why this is a blowout. Alright, so I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to be going up the hill. And let me get it into... this is real time, so it's a dog going uphill. 15, 13 kilometers per hour. It's slow uphill. So, just so you're aware, power to weight ratio, not great. Otherwise, the mobility is fairly decent. It's a little nimble. Just realize uphill, it sucks. So. So already that's 2 good shots into 2 good tanks. Yeah, this battle's pretty much already over. That was a bad shot. I should have gone for the reload there. I really don't want to approach at this angle, but I also don't want to get in the defender's way, so... And yeah. I think you probably figure out what's going to happen next, so... by the way, downhill, I was hitting 60 there, so... Those were unlucky shots. I think they all went to the upper plate. Or looks maybe one of them when lower still did pin though. The pin's okay, but yeah, that's why I went ahead and loaded 218. 6 just had enough armor there, so. Even with his insanely good DPM, it's just not enough. I would have reloaded, but I'm never going to give up an opportunity to shoot Artie, so... And yeah, that's it. Probably not the best example. We'll take a look at another one. Alright, so here we go. We'll look at the gun depression, 10 degrees on the hill in Malnovka. The turret is not invulnerable, but it's good. And it doesn't have a cupola weak spot, but you can still get pinned. Especially by anything with, you know, like kind of TDs or anything like that. This is where it can excel, not sniping, but... Using hill, using terrain, it's mobile enough to do some crazy shit like that. I guess I'm spotting in. Just watch out for things like that. See what I did. So, yeah, anyway. This probably could have been a really good game. I just needed to back up. I let that SU shoot me one more time, which isn't a good idea. I got greedy. Right there. So, otherwise, that would have been a great game. Anyway, let me show you some things that it cannot do. Alright, so number one, it cannot fix teammates being assholes. Like this guy. So, very fun game. Needless to say, he gets him killed. Or this guy.
Start withdrawal.
Thankfully, he eventually gives up, but
I warned you, but did you listen to me? Oh, no, you know.
or this guy driving up my butt. Alright, you get the idea. If you could take anything away from this video, please let it be the point to not drive straight up your teammate's butt, or to block them, or to do all that kind of stuff. If you're going to get behind a tank, I know this is a great backside.
Because she got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful backside. But please, if you could please go to the left or to the right when trying to support a tank, that would be great. Just a PSA for all you people who drive straight up people's butts. I don't know who you are, but you know who you are. So I think they just get mesmerized. It's a great butt. Anyway, so yeah, there's no fixing that, and there's no fixing, let's say, well, let's take a look real quick. Alright, so there's no fixing teammates going valley on Lakeville, for instance, or going beach on Overlord, or yeah, you get the idea. It's no cure for bad teammates, so it can carry. You just it's World of Tanks. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. The stats, I'm sure you can probably figure out all the stats, and I'm sure the other videos will go over it as well. DPM's not great. It's okay. It's workable. But the main thing is it's got the burst damage. So the 3 shells that you can unload fairly quickly, it's very nice. And then yeah, the recommendation, give it all the gun handling it can use. The view range. So if you have a good crew and you have this kind of setup, you can still get to the max view range. So that is not as much of an issue as the gun handling. So I would focus the gun handling, my personal opinion. And then just try to roll with that. The mobility and everything else, it's nice, it's workable. Uphill, you know, it sucks. The specific power 12 is not good. But yeah, everything else, I enjoyed it. Had a whole lot of fun with it. Again, here are the stats that I had after 24 games. So yeah, nothing to complain about. A lot of people are not having a whole lot of fun with it, but I think with the right setup, with the right crew, with some experience and everything, it's a good tank. So if you get this, congratulations. And I'm assuming it's going to be coming in the loot boxes. I don't know that for sure, so I'm just speculating. We haven't been told any of that, so that's just what I'm assuming. Since we can release this tomorrow, and I think by Wednesday, I think that's when the loot boxes come out. So we'll see. If it is, and we get these in the loot boxes, I'll be happy with it. I'm not going to chase it. I don't think this is going to be one of those things that's like worth chasing. But if I were to get it in a loot box, I'd be perfectly happy with it. So I have enjoyed it thoroughly. So I hope this helps. I'm pretty sure all the other CCs are going to wreck these the marks, the gun marks. So good luck trying to mark it or ace it and all that, but otherwise I think most people are going to have a whole lot of fun with this. I'm not going to fully recommend putting in your maidens in this, but it did work for me, and the reason that I had no problem doing that is that if worst comes to worst, the Italian heavies are bad, I can still throw this crew into the medium, tier 8 or tier 9 medium crew, or tank that I like anyway, so to me it's a win-win. So I'll be using this crew to clean up my Italian heavies, or go through the Italian heavies. So grind. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Peace out. Take care, and I will catch you later.